Production Corner. Production Corner. Production.
Hey, I'm here at Run Wild Music, a brand new studio here in Chelmsford. Let's go and check it out. It's not opening. It's open now. Cool, so here we are, check in Run Wild Music Studio. First thing I notice, American fridge, classic. So, oh, this is nice. Look at this, wonderful. Let's have a cherry, walnut, no, pine. Thought so. Good. Cool. We're rolling. Let me just. So I'm here with the founder of Run Wild Music, Mr. Jamie Sellers.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
Very
really good.
good.
Thanks for being here.
Oh mate, it's been wonderful. It's a lovely space.
Thank you.
I think the first thing that sells it to me is that we're on a farm.
We are on a farm.
We're on an actual farm. So what is Run Wild Music?
So Run Wild Music has been a bit of an ambition of mine for quite a long time. I've been a writer and a producer for 6-7 years now, and I've worked in various studios and facilities in and around kind of the London area over that time, and the goal has always been to have my own space. And what I've been calling it is a boutique recording studio and artist development company.
Right.
I very much came into being a producer through the creative side of things. So I was an artist before. I'm a singer by trade, and
I've heard him. He's very good.
Not as good as you though. We've all heard the production corner.
Thank you very much.
But I think like I didn't come to being a producer through the kind of, I suppose, the technical engineering type route. Yeah. That wasn't part of what I'm into really. Mm-hmm. I very much came into it as a songwriter who taught himself how to produce. The modern artist wants more than what your traditional recording studios offer. Mm-hmm. You know, the traditional recording studio model is there's a big desk there, there's a big drawer full of microphones, there's an engineer who knows exactly the right microphone to pick, exactly the right place to put it, what preamp to plug it into. But that's kind of where it ends. It's very much a place where you could go to get the song that you'd rehearsed and refined and stuff committed to a record. The way they want their songs to sound, it takes more than just someone who can plug the mic in and press record.
Absolutely.
It takes a collaboration, basically, with a producer. I think the producer-artist relationship has become so much more collaborative. It's always been collaborative up to a point, and there has always existed this creative relationship between artists, but I think it's even more prevalent now because music moves so quickly, the trends move so quickly, and I think that artists, while they're focusing on being an artist, it can be hard to kind of really keep your finger on the pulse and figure out where your place is. And so I think that's why artists, I think, now prefer to go somewhere where they can relinquish some of that creative control to someone who not only has the technical ability to actually create the physical product, but also has the vision and the understanding of the musical landscape they want to be in an environment where it's conducive for creativity, so not just a sterile, old school recording studio environment. So that kind of is what I feel like Run Wild Music is it's not just a recording studio where you can come and you can pay your money and we'll give you a CD. That's not it. It's somewhere where you can come and we can help to really craft a record for you. We're not just recording your voice through a microphone and putting it on a MP3. We're really delving quite deep into what you want to be and who you are and what you want your sound to be and all these things like that. That's how every session starts. We don't just sit down. It's not like just play me the song and then we'll hit record. We listen to records the artist likes. Like, I listen to what they listen to, even if it's not necessarily relevant. I want to know what the musical landscape is like inside their head, so that I can start to make decisions on where we're gonna go with this music, and I can start to build up an idea in my head of what makes them tick, what I think might work, and hopefully not just deliver to them what I think they'll like, but also hopefully sometimes challenge them and push them into areas that perhaps they didn't even think about, and say, listen, I can really hear this on the record, I can hear this. And so that to me is kind of what I want Run Wild Music to represent, is to represent a real creative hub, and somewhere where you can kind of just really delve deep into the creative process.
First thing I noticed when I walked in the room is it felt like a living room with a studio in it.
Yeah.
And do you think was that part of what you were hoping to achieve in terms of the welcoming factor of the studio, rather than it feeling sterile?
100%. Yeah, I sort of actively didn't want it to look too. I didn't want it to look too obviously like a studio.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have a big mixing desk with faders and stuff everywhere. I mean, it looks like a studio. There's speakers and there's still, you still know that it's a studio when you walk in. There's instruments and stuff, but I didn't want it to look like a studio that anyone had walked into before. And I think part of that was just because of the whole ethos of the company and the thinking behind the whole company is that I do want it to cater to the creative side of music, because that's the side that excites me most. So I wanted to kind of consciously make the room feel inviting and feel like a space that you'd want to sit for a day and record and write and kind of chill, and for it to be conducive to that process. So that's why you'll notice there isn't obviously loads of faders and knobs and dials and all that kind of thing. Like there is that stuff there too, but it's kind of subtle. It's a stripped back kind of setup.
So on the specification, I did notice, so the analog sides that you do have is your preamps and of course your mics, which you've got some wonderful mics in your mic cabinet.
Yeah.
But am I right in saying mixing, editing, completely digital?
Digital, all in box, yeah.
And have you always worked that way?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
When I was at university, where I was introduced to production, I did a bit, of the kind of analog stuff. But again, that was never really my focus. That was never what interested me. And then when I started to sort of teach myself production, what appealed to me was the fact that I could just get a laptop and I could just do it that way.
With the location, I have to ask, so there's many places you could have gone. Why a farm?
It wasn't like my specification was it must be a farm.
It's a very good farm.
It's a nice farm. This is we are actually in an old chicken hut.
Wonderful. Smells like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Joke, it doesn't.
I decided to kind of look in my immediate vicinity first before and seeing what was out there, and if I didn't find anything that I thought was suitable, then maybe branch out and look in London. And yeah, I came here, I looked at it, it just seemed like it had a really nice, it's a nice kind of environment to come to work every day, where there's just fields around and we're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. But equally, as much as like in the immediate vicinity it does look like it's quite remote and rural, we're actually quite well connected. You know, Chelmsford's only 10 minutes down the road, Braintree's only 10 minutes up the road. We've got Stansted Airport, it's 20-25 minutes away. You know, realistically, you can be in London in, you know, hour and a half. But also when you're here, you feel like you're kind of removed from everything. You know, you feel like you are in a little kind of log cabin in the middle of nowhere, which I think kind of, again,
it adds to the appeal, and
it adds to the appeal, and it kind of works. It works with my brand. It works with the ethos of the place. You know, Run Wild music. You know, it is about kind of, you know, letting your creativity run wild kind of thing.
It's nice, you know, because people see London as the hub still for music. But I don't think that's the case anymore. Now, it's a bit controversial, but I don't think that's the case anymore. And it's really nice actually to just escape that. See, your studio sort of reminds me of something like Real World Studios, which is obviously Peter Gabriel's space. And I think it's just great to come out of the city life and come somewhere where you just do feel like you've escaped it all. And I think that really does add to the creativity. And when I was driving up here, down that wonderful, the biggest driveway I've ever seen, by the way, to get to a place, it just feels so good to get out of it all and come here in this space. It's really airy, really light, so I can totally understand.
You know, I get that feedback. Yeah, I get that feedback all the time from people who come here, and it is that they like the fact that it's removed from everything. It's not in their own kind of hectic life environment. You know, it's removed from that. And I have, you know, last week I had artists travel down from Scotland and from up north of England, Manchester, all over the place, you know. So
Jamie is a fantastic producer, an artist in his own right, but a wonderful engineer, wonderful producer. I'm really excited about what's going on here. Run Wild Music, I think it's an incredible business model, and I think it's really going to work. And I really would recommend you guys check out Jamie's stuff and what he's doing. And obviously, I'm sure you'd love to come and see the space for yourself. So if they do want to get in touch with you, Jamie, what's the best way of finding out about Run Wild?
The best way to find us, you know, Facebook. The Facebook page is there, Run Wild Music. The website as well, runwildmusic.com. You can find out a bit more info about myself, about the studios, about what we offer, and can contact me through either of those mediums.
Thank you very much, Jamie.
Pleasure.
For starring live on Production Corner. It's been wonderful talking to you. And guys, I'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Take care.
Production Corner.